Hey, hello, hi, my name is Andrew Chiles, and this is Mira May.
Hello.
And you're watching Call Me After, the Call Me Mother review show, and this is episode 4 of season 2, and we have Justin Abit.
Hello from the West Coast.
As well as Jenna Seppa.
Bonsoir from the north of Ontario.
This Drag Vantage challenge this week is a makeup mirror, and you had 20 minutes to do a swap face on another person that you just had to kind of randomly draw. Now, was there anybody in particular that you wish you could have been paired with? Justin, let's start with you.
No, not specifically. I knew no matter who I got paired with, it was going to be a challenge. 1, painting without a mirror, and then 2, femme drag. Like, I don't know where to even start, and I didn't realize we were supposed to be taking it seriously, so didn't matter who. I thought we were just supposed to be having a good time, honestly. I thought we were supposed to look a mess because no mirrors, but everybody proved me wrong. No preference. So no preference.
Jenna Seppa, did you have any preference on anybody that you wish you could have worked with?
Honestly, I wanted Weeby, so I was very happy. It would have been fun though to do Amara's makeup because I would have loved to look pretty. Or tried to.
Yeah, so soft and so blended, but without a mirror. So.
So it would have just been like a blur, honestly, just like.
And one of the things that I noticed, and I only noticed this when watching it back, most of these teams were already a part of your houses already. Like we had the orange team, Jenna Seppa and Weeby. Ironic that they were orange. We had the blue team, Amara and Michaela. Ironic they're blue. And lastly, pink, Jessie and Phoenix. I thought that this was like so camp and fun that everybody kind of like got to be within their own color house, except for, of course, Justin and Pepper.
Yeah, that's so funny. I didn't even notice that.
I know, it was so camp. I was like, oh, that's actually really fun.
I was there and I didn't even notice.
No, good for you. That's that, and it was truly very random.
I will say the Drag Vantage challenges this season, a lot of them I have not understood, but finally we got a Drag Vantage challenge where it made sense what was happening.
Yeah.
And I understood the assignment because a lot of them have been like freaking treasure map Sudoku puzzles, and I've been so confused. So I was like, thank God, this one's easy.
It wouldn't hurt if they gave a little bit of an introduction, this is what we're doing and this is why. But it just sort of goes into, we're playing bingo, blue ball bingo. And they don't explain the fact that literally anybody can answer the question. You don't have to have the number on your pad. There was just no explanation whatsoever, just a free for all. Like, just leave everybody guessing what the fuck is going on, Like, I have no idea.
It was so wild. I was like, this is totally Jessie's challenge to win, but also their challenge to lose. Cause like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept helping us win. Exactly. It's like, oh, thanks, pal. I'll take that win. I have promised Jessie, and I will hold to this, that I am taking them out for a really nice dinner for helping answer all of the questions. That was my, like, I owe you. Like, thank you for that win.
You're so kind. Wait, but who won this one?
This one, we actually had Weeby win as well as Jenna Seppa.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good prize.
It was $500 to Aaliyah's Closet, which is like so amazing because Aaliyah's Closet has already provided the breastplates and the chest plates for you all, and they do jewelry, they do so much more. And as we even discussed with Pepper, the fact that they were able to like skin match so perfectly for the people of color, like shout out to Aaliyah's Closet and enjoy your $500 worth. Okay, Jenna?
Thank you. I'm a jewelry girl. I'm very excited. I also am going to buy my girlfriend a beautiful breastplate bag for her boobies. So I'm excited.
We had an entirely new section of the show being displayed. We had the Mother's Helper, where each mother got to call in a guest. And so Peppermint called in John Cameron Mitchell, the producer or the creator of Hedwig. Crystal was able to call in Jake Shears, the lead singer of Scissor Sisters, which so camp, so iconic. Let's have a Kiki. Hello. And lastly, Barbada called in the icon herself, Ginger Minge. Now, with John Cameron Mitchell, we did have a little bit of a moment with Justin Abit and having the whole diversity of drag and the comfortability with starting drag. How is this entire conversation for you? Because this seemed to be like so directed and more towards your field.
You know, and again, it's like the edit thing where they only show so little of what was said, and everything that he said. First of all, I was going through it with the emotions and the stress as most of us were, and the timing of these conversations was so perfect. I think most of us needed a little boost, and that I don't know if they had this planned originally or if it was just all of us kind of being like, we need some inspo, please help. Like, I don't know if it was pre-planned because it seemed to be so very perfectly timed for when I think we all needed it. And the every single thing that he said resonated so much. And he talked a bunch that they didn't include about how to get started. And, you know, he was like, lock yourself in a room, discover who you are in drag, do all of this before you ever put your foot on a stage so that you can come in fully recognized. And I'm just like sitting there thinking, oh God, I have been doing drag in reverse since the very beginning. I do this in life though. I jump in both feet forward and I don't really think about it. And then I figure it out as I go. I'm very much a fake it till you make it. And I mean, it's been working out okay, but I was like, this is the advice that I wish that I had from the very beginning. Take a pause, take a beat, figure out who the fuck you are, and then get into drag. So yeah, but all three of the speakers hit a specific thing I feel like I needed to hear. So it was magic. It was so perfect that day. It was magic. I loved it.
Now, Jenna Seppa, you didn't have any specific edited or directed moment towards you, but out of the entirety of these three conversations, what was the most appealing to you?
Honestly, I mean, having the chance to talk with Ginger Minge was super cool. I got to talk to her a bit about I'm really fascinated, intrigued with the art of hosting and, captivating a crowd and like how to adapt to a crowd. So like that's kind of where my conversation was and like ended up with Ginger. So I really cherish her like kind of imparting her wisdom on keeping things fresh and exciting and fun. But yeah, just sitting into all these conversations with all these speakers was so amazing. I mean, John Cameron Mitchell, like you said, was like really imparting a lot of wisdom on just how to be a fully realized artist, and that really resonated with all of us, I think. So yeah, it was so much fun. It's so cool. And just like for once, like letting us take a breath and just enjoy kind of like the experience. I cried sitting in the back there. I was tearing up. I was like, oh my God, I just remember something that happened. I was like listening to everyone speaking, and I had this moment where I saw myself like literally like right now, like watching myself during the season. I had this like full like astral projection into the future moment, and like it was just like realizing where we are, and it was cool.
Oh, that's so good. Then that must have meant a whole lot more to you once you get to like have that kind of like outside looking in perspective. And especially as somebody who's already worked on the show, you probably like had like some flashbacks to moments like this, especially with what was that drag king from the UK that they brought last season? I'm forgetting. Adam All. They were able to bring in Adam All. And so this was kind of like very similar to me in the same sense. And I felt it at the same time. Season 1, it was absolutely necessary at the time that it was to kind of have these conversations, to feel reinvigorated, to feel re-inspired by drag. So I'm glad that that all of you got to have this experience and get to chat with everybody.
And you know what? I want to go back to what you were talking about with the challenges and how random they were. Last season, they had a reward that impacted the actual fucking showcase. They did not do that. None of the challenges that we've done so far like helped us or helped our house. But Dallas introduces them that way. He's like, yes, these little challenges may help you or your house. And I'm like, neither. We all win gift cards or cash. There's no advantage. You don't get extra time. You don't get extra like stage time. Nothing. I don't understand.
I would argue that those dummies are one of the most important parts of the entire production.
They did haunt us all season. They did follow us for the rest of the season. Everywhere they were just laying down on set.
Those dolls are so cursed. The green and the purple, just
I think some people took them back to their rooms as body pillows, like little snuggle buddies.
Oh wow, I use it that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that's so weird.
if anybody, that would have been Seance with last week's look.
Not the
right? Exactly. That's the inspo. Oh my god.
So we get to salon time with both Wigzaddy as well as Lucinda Mew, and each house gets to describe their drag defender look. Now, I don't even remember who got the chance from each house to choose the drag defender look. What was each of your descriptions for drag defender?
Mine was like a weird kid on like a pogo stick. He had like springs built into his shoes and would literally be sort of bouncing around.
Like, hey,
and
Lucinda.
Right, yeah, I think pretty sure they got like nixed because of this. It was just like, nope. Yeah, mine was very much like a little skater running circles. Like it was a rollerblader. I don't remember exactly, but he had springs on his shoes to jump to great heights. I went really out there. What about you, Jenna?
I love that. So I, funny enough, had like initially like a more like nature-y kind of idea, and then I was like, wait, I'm gonna think, outside the box. And I was like, oh my god, what about like an antivirus? And then it was like this, actually similar to Glass. It was like a shieldy kind of like the
Norton symbol or whatever. Yeah.
But it was like other superhero form, so it had like gauntlets and stuff. So we took the idea of the gauntlets and then the leg things for the nature thing. But yeah,
I'm kind of glad that you went with the nature one instead.
Yeah.
Sponsored by
orange logo, like almost like the Grinder logo, but like antivirus.
Yes, Grinder will defend us all. The international.
No, you should have done a HIV prep thing, so that way Friday would have been like, "You're the winner. You're the winner."
Now you're thinking.
Can we like go back and do it again?
Branding.
Yeah. So we end up actually getting Michaela's choice of a kid-like fun time superhero for the House of Duel set. We have Weeby's Mother Nature, and lastly, we just have the Shield.
They were the only ones that talked as well in theirs. The Shield thing, they were the only ones that spoke, and then the rest of us, we just decided to do a mime performance. Basically.
This is the one time, I mean, it's only been like 1.5 seasons, but I've really realized like how directed Call Me Mother is to like more the theater gaze. Like it is a lot more on that theatrical side, and like specifically the family showcase. Like that is you putting on a performance of a sort. It may not be like a specific lip sync or anything, but you are still acting out, improvising, creating this entire scenario.
Yeah.
Would have loved some direction. Would have been great.
We could get a director, please.
Would have been great. Maybe a script. Shoot us a script. Would love that.
Yeah,
give me a script.
Props,
give me some direction.
The salon team
should have
like a set. Yeah, the salon team should have like a set director next season, so you can add some sets.
It's Lucinda with just like the sword and the shield.
She's just hammering away at something with her tiny little waist. She's like,
It's just walk off. It's like, I'm done. I do everything already. Nope, this is too much. Not doing that too.
We get to the runway and we have the House of Harmony first, with Pepper as the ring light reflection look that she had. I really wanted to see the whole performance because she started off with that ring light in front of her, and then it was just like harsh cut to like her just walking the runway, and I was like, no, I want to see like this like build up. I want to see like the reveal of it. So I felt a little robbed from that. However, I thought that the look overall was extremely conceptualized. Had there been just a few more ring lights on her body, I would have loved it way more. But that's also some money that she spent on just like 4 or 5 ring lights alone. So like,
she actually had a disco ball helmet that didn't make it in time to set. That was supposed to reflect and like match the dress and like reflect the light, but it didn't get delivered in time. Yeah, it would have. Yeah,
so sad.
Yeah.
Next on the runway, we have Jenna Seppa with her cyborg with her pink curler hair. And this was so camp. The way I loved how you had it just like stuck to your hand. But the way that these curls were just like haphazardly Dr. Seuss mumbo jumbo. It was so stupid. And I love stupid gray.
Wires in the hair too. I like put like a bunch of wire everywhere. Yeah, it was a fun look to me.
I have to be honest, I didn't realize you had the prosthetics on. I was just like, damn, she did some crazy ass makeup. Like, what's happening with her makeup? And then when they're like, oh, the prosthetics, I was like, oh, yeah, she does have them on. That makes sense.
Yeah, cheekbones and lips.
Yeah, I was like, her face is not that angular. What is I was so confused. I was like, oh, it's literally prosthetics. Okay, work.
I guess I did a good job putting them on.
Yeah, right?
No, yeah, and then in the back, I actually made out of clay, 'cause I'm a sculptor, this like board kind of like situation. I don't know if you can see it properly, but I had a lot of fun like making little clay things with that runway. It's like one of my little like prized possessions. I'm like this Mod Podge of like sculpture.
Does every single one of your looks have like the clay element on it, Jenna?
Most of them, like so, like there's like something somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
did
cool.
you make the bird and the bee?
I made the bird and the bee.
That's so
all the
cute.
flowers. I think my film one, I made the earrings, but they're not like clay. But like, yeah, there's like usually something.
Last for the House of Harmony, we have Weeby as the Scroll Demon. I didn't understand the full concept to this, but I really enjoyed how she presented it.
Yeah,
I think
okay. I didn't love the look. I'll be honest. I love Weeby. I love me some Weeby, but I was like, it's a look. It happened. And I feel bad, but you know, just to be frank. But what about you, Justin?
I am on the same page. Again, like I think they sold the monster side of it, the part that got lost, at least especially when I was watching. And I mean, I was there, so I got the phones and I saw the details. But then watching it on the runway, especially from the perspective of an audience that doesn't know those details are there and they're not being pointed out to them, it was harder to tell where the social media side of it came in. That's all. Like it wasn't not a good look. It just, I'm not sure I would have read it as social media. That's all. Yeah.
I'm going to have to zoom in on the photos just so that way I can see what you're talking about. Cause yeah, there's obviously some details that we are missing because we didn't really have that direct context that you two may have got.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Up next, we have the House of Glass, and we have both Phoenix and Jessie next. Phoenix is wearing a Pope of social media, and I think I don't remember who said it, but there could have been just like a little more to make it a little more popey of social media, because it kind of gave a little bit more of the wedding era. Had she worn like a really nice top hat, I think that would have like absolutely sold it. However, the hair she was wearing was really gorgeous. I just got to say that, Phoenix.
I don't know why I like, if you're gonna do Pope, she didn't have a Pope hat.
Yeah.
Why? Like, if you're gonna do Pope, do the Pope hat, right? Like,
Make your hair into the Pope hat. Go Moira. Like,
go for yeah.
I'm just gonna say, at the viewing party I was at, it was like, so Phoenix is just gonna wear whatever they want to wear and say it is whatever. And I was like, woof. Woof.
I'm a superhero, and I get to wear whatever I want to wear because I'm a kid.
So for my family runway, I've decided I'm a glamazon bitch, and Trade did not like the session, so he had gutted me.
Yeah. However, Jessie Precious, wow, the catfish who's fishing the cat as the catfish catting the fish, who's a fishy cat. I was like, ooh, this little like headpiece thing that she had. I absolutely love that headpiece.
Cool.
And she is.
It's a wig. It's a
it's a wig. It was a wig piece.
So good.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
She spent money.
Yeah.
Good. Brava. Probably my favorite look of the runway. I'm sorry to both. No, actually. Sorry, Justin, your look is, we'll get to it. Your look is really fucking good.
Yeah, Jessie looked expensive, and like
It
the
was most
concept
expensive.
and the hair, like she looked absolutely amazing. It was great.
Yeah.
10 out
the
of 10.
layers. It was the layers of meaning, and you know how like it's like, this has got layers to it. Because as she was describing it, I'm a catfish who's part cat, who's catfishing. And it's like, oh God, wow, deep. You really went deep with this concept. But she looked so elegant on top of it. Like, you're right. The details in person with pretty much every one of Jessie's looks, the details, fuck.
She had like the cat spots like glued to her body that like
came out
she
was like picking them
just
off
so
with her nail. So good.
Yes.
And lastly, for the House of Dual Sat, we have Amara as the pre-social media influencer with her Polaroid camera from a different era. I thought it could have been good, but you can tell that there was a little bit of focus on other outfits because the way that she brought really fucking good outfits, this just was a little bit,
Yeah.
And I think this outfit was kind of her demise too. Like, I think maybe it's the reason she was sent home is this outfit. So it's just kind of so disappointing.
When it's a good week for everyone and it's your like, it's the one look that's your, it was just like everyone focused on social media monster and she didn't. So it was just.
She went high. She went out of the box. Like, and we're so encouraged to do that. And with our prompts, it's like, this one is really specific, and then this one is interpret it as you will. And we were sitting in our house consult, and I loved this concept. I loved it so much because I am a child of the 80s. Like, I was born in 1980. This concept to me, I was like, yes, all of these details, that rhinestoned 80s jumpsuit thing.
Yeah.
That thing was epic.
I want to see that in the club because the way that would.
Jenna has it.
She gave it to me. She gave it to me, and I wore it last night, and it's literally my favorite thing I own. It's so good.
It's very Jenna.
So good.
It's very Jenna. I love that.
It really is.
That's very vibes. Michaela is dressed up as the social media facade with the big old booty hole in the back. I loved this look. I loved her makeup, the way she did this like Joker kind of like a slit face to the makeup. It was so beautiful in a weirdly and even Barbados was like, I don't want to see you smile right now. I thought that was so good.
Yeah, you've done your job right when they're like, can't look at you. Like, same with Seance in the Pillow Monster outfit. It's like,
elicits a reaction. Yeah,
exactly. You did your job. You understood the assignment. She looked absolutely beautiful. Yeah.
And lastly, we have Justin Abit as the anonymous asshole. You know who you are. That was so good. Like, the way this was like a Joker concept style. Just like make it like, I don't know, dystopian. It was so good. And your cape with all those like anonymous followers. And I wish I had the time to read everything you had on the inside of your cape. Literally everything about this. I was just like, fuck yeah. So excited about it. It was so good. My eyes were drawn everywhere. Just like 10 out of 10, Justin.
Thank you. Yeah, it was I was so excited when I made it past the last episode because I'm like, yes, this is the look I was so excited to wear. Because honestly, it needed a runway. The very first time I tried it on in my house, I'm like, there's no fucking room for this cape to go. This is ridiculous. Like, it's something like 10 feet long. It's so big. And like the thing, just, we were talking about the editing before. I am so sad that I'm really psyched that this made it on work. That was great. I was so happy. But I talked so much about the lack of consequence for trolls and how they just get away with saying whatever they want with no consequences, but the words hurt. They're sometimes irreparable. Like, this is a problem that we as a society have created and are not squashing, and people believe it. You believe it. We believe whatever we're hearing from these people, and we don't take the time like to check the facts, blah, blah, blah. I like, this is just, so I have trolls. They are horrible. They wreck things. They wreck your brain. It's awful. So I was so passionate about this, and it's like, yes, thank you for you know who you are, because I was doing that for everybody. That wasn't me speaking to direct people, but I'm like, you know who you are. Like, you are that person with way too much fucking time on your hands, wrecking people's lives, living in misery and living for it, and get a fucking hobby.
It was so cool. It's like something I wish I thought of. Like it's one of those looks where you're like, damn, I wish I thought of this. That's so good.
Oh, I love that. I have those moments regularly watching drag, so I love that. Woo.
Yeah.
One for me.
The crowd loved it last night. Like at the show when you did like this is like you know who you are. Everyone like it was just like a good moment. It was.
I love it.
Yeah.
Work. That's so great.
And
Thank you.
haters make you famous. Remember that. Haters make you famous.
Yeah, up that engagement, right?
If it wasn't so awful, it would be flattering. You know every show I'm in. You know, like you follow me close. Wow. Okay, I guess I'll put on a show for you then.
Personally, I think Justin and Jesse probably were my favorites this week. I don't know
Agreed.
if I could choose between the two of you because you both were just so amazing to look at, and like it was such a spectacle. So definitely my favorite of the week. And then Jenna was obviously my other favorite of the week too. Duh. Right? So yeah, it was a good runway.
Yeah,
Everyone kind of ate.
I just have to harshly disagree with Fahrenheit that you did the right amount. There, like your outfit brought my eyes everywhere at the right time, at the right places. I was constantly intrigued and wanting to look everywhere. And like even the second that you turned around, I was like, "There's more!" Like just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree that it wasn't too much at all. Yeah.
I think it was like literally the perfect amount. Literally the perfect amount.
I really feel like they just edited that comment in, and who knows if it was even directed at me, honestly, because I'm like, did she say that? I don't remember hearing that. And then everybody was just like, what? Last week wasn't enough? This week it's too much? And so I was like, oh, that's why they did that. Oh, okay, I get it now. All right.
Yeah.
It was just to, fan the flames of what? We just need the drama, the little itsy bitsy drama. Yeah.
I love you, story producers, but can you do a little bit more in real time versus just in the editing stage of things? Thank you. Love you.
Yeah.
Mwah.
It happened.
You've all left the stage and they're like, hey, Farrah, could you just say a few negative things about everyone just in case we need it?
Yeah, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, literally.
After the runway, we find out that the House of Harmony is tied with the House of Dulcet with 33 points. Meanwhile, the House of Glass is 1 point ahead with 34, leading the pack for the first time ever. Go for you, House of Glass. You deserve something.
Yeah, they finally did it. They finally did it.
The nice thing about this is we find out that we're only going to be losing one person out of the entire competition. And I swear to God, it's because the House of Glass only had one person left had they done it. So they knew that they were like, not the House of Glass today.
Yeah, they were like, we've taken out enough of queer people's dreams at this point. Let's slow it down a little bit. We're good.
We have time.
Why the hell did we not do even 2, 1, 2, 1? Just spread it out a little bit more.
Imagine if they did a top 6 and then just eliminated half. That would have been fierce. That would have been wild.
That would have been something. Keep everybody. Yes.
And then you get to display all of your artistry by doing that.
Well, that's the thing. Everyone's there longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just cast less people or no, that's it. Everybody gets a house and there's only 12 people. How about that? Thank you.
Yeah.
That would be
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't send somebody home on the very first day.
Jenna, you obviously have a really, really interesting perspective on all this because last season you worked on the show. And now you're a competitor on the show. What has the entire experience been like of what you can tell? Obviously there's episodes that haven't aired. What's that been like for you right now?
It's pressure's on, kind of. I'm okay, well, I know the production crew and they know me, but now I'm competing and everyone's oh look, we know her, let's look closely at what she's up to, you know what I mean? So I definitely felt that pressure getting into it from the get-go. I'm okay, I can't fuck up because that's embarrassing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're happy to see me, so but at the same time I felt that love and comfort, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it did feel I'm coming back to this family, and now they're seeing me grow and in the mothership, like it was just so much fun, like seeing the mothers and being around like the crew and like just like playing around and like not having like that initial like intimidation that you get in the beginning. Like I kind of like that wall was broken. So it was so much fun, like stressful, but like really, really nice.
Yeah.
Do you feel as if you had any like upper hand at all in comparison to the other competitors? Because you're like, 1 hour, I can push that to an hour and a half if I want.
Yeah, I guess I had like the upper hand in terms of like, I just like kind of like knew how the day would go, but like it's not the same until you like live it as a competitor. You know what I mean? I definitely felt it was like, okay, like I don't want that like expectation to like, or like that like idea of knowledge to like hinder my performance.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like tried to ignore as many preconceived notions and just go in with like this is a new season, this is different. We'll see how it goes.
Do you feel like the bar was higher for you? Sorry, I'm so curious. Because like that whole imposter syndrome and all of that stuff that gets in the way for so many artists, it's like you had experience with them, they knew you a little bit, and I wondered if you felt like I have that extra pressure the bar set higher for me because I know more.
100%. I was like, I felt the pressure that much more because I knew kind of like the eyes were on me and in their mind, they're like, you should know what you're doing. You should know what you're getting yourself into, so you better perform. You know what I mean? Which I think like helped in a way, because then like I did push myself.
May I ask, you probably don't know, but are you going to be backstage again for a potential season 3? Would you go back as a PA?
I go back as like something more fun, like something like honestly, I would love to work in story. I'm putting it out there. If you're watching, I would love to work in story because I feel like
that's something I'm really interested in too. Because like, especially no tea, no shade, the Canadian shows are just not as good when it comes to creating stories and like pushing stories as the American shows have, like, because they've really mastered it. Obviously,
we need some social media representation, because we thought we were gonna see it in season 1. No, we thought we were gonna see it in season 2. No, you barely see anything on Out TV or on Fruit TV's Instagram. The most you see is the thumbnail of the mothers every week on Out TV getting swapped. That's the most social media you will ever see from them.
Anyway, y'all deserve more. I would love to see some Jenna Seppa behind the scenes.
Story producing.
Social media manager next season. Maybe we'll get some Justin there for some story producing. Yes.
More lesbians.
More lesbians.
Lesbians make the freaking world go around, y'all. Save and protect our lesbians. Oh my god.
I would love a lesbian season.
Just lesbian.
Okay.
Word.
Imagine that'd be so good.
it would everything would just get done quickly. Like there'd be nothing to film because everything would be done quickly. They'd all be like really nice to each other, and then there'd be like drama, but then they'd talk it out like adults.
Like a full conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
And before episode 1, they've already moved in.
Yeah, exactly. Like we'd have weddings. Like we'd have weddings by episode 3.
I'd love to story produce that one, please. Please let me in. Like, I want to be there.
I'll be a Care Bear on that season, please. Yeah.
Now, one of the last questions that I had for the both of you, had you both gotten the 3 fan clack on episode 1, which house would you have ideally gotten to choose? Jenna, let's start.
Yeah. Or did you have one before the season started? You were like, I'm going to choose this person if I get the chance.
I have a story, actually, because, at the rap party from season 1, the 3 mothers literally corner me, and they literally say this. So season 2, we all clack our fans. Who do you choose? And I was like, Dallas, because he was there too. So that's my answer. Dallas.
House of Butterfly.
Oh my god. Every week. She comes up every week.
Stay tuned for the roast.
No, it's not going to make the edit. You know it's not going to make the edit.
No, it's not. They already told me it won't.
So lastly, after the House of Dulcet finds out their score, we have to say goodbye to Amara, unfortunately. This is a huge shock to me. I really did see her as like a top 3 competitor, and I think I agree with what you said earlier. It was truly just the runway was the only thing that really brought her down to that point. So it was just really unfortunate when you're on a level when you're on a field of all these competitors, you just have to be the best all the time, and that's just a tough thing to do.
They cut a lot of the emotion that came after that moment as well. I'm surprised, honestly. This is TV. I'm really surprised that they cut that.
I literally jumped out of my seat last night at the viewing party. I was like, what? What? What they're not gonna show? Like, okay.
Exactly. You could also see that a lot of it was cut because you could like see you and Michaela like
moving to go go hug her.
Yeah, and like I think it was you, Justin. You could hear you start to cry about it, but then like they just they cut to you guys leaving, and I was like, oh my gosh, like you can tell they're so upset, but they're not showing any of it.
There was yelling and screaming.
We fully held each other for a few minutes. We were all muttering sort of stuff. And Mara kept reassuring both of us because that's what she does. And then the emotion hit Michaela hard, as you know, I think would be expected because they got really close. And you know, do we say it, Jenna? Like, are we allowed to share this? If they cut it? Yeah, she was like.
Screaming, crying, breakdown, had to go outside. What was she saying?
Only like Maury Povich moment of like the cameras following her backstage, and she's just like, she yelled, "That's my best friend."
Yeah, anyway, I'm very upset we don't get to see Amara's face anymore. Like her makeup, I just want to see that mug every week. And like, honestly, her runways were just so amazing. I'd love to see what else she pulls out. Because she said so. She said, you're missing an amazing runway next week. So.
Well, unfortunately, I guess maybe fortunately, you can catch Amara joining us on December 8th for our Call Me Mother after show review then. So make sure you stay tuned for that one too.
Yes.
This has been Call Me After. Thank you both very much for joining us for the Call Me Mother review show. My name is Andrew Childs. You can catch me at Drewby_TV. We have Mira May.
Hi, you can catch me at the Mira May on all my socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, the whole shebang.
And Jenna Seppa, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Jenna.Seppa. I actually just posted my runway if you want to go check it out and like give it love. I love attention. Thank you. And at Confusion on Twitter.
I can't believe people didn't understand your name. I got it right away.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Justin, where can everybody find you?
So you can catch me at justin.abit.dragking on Instagram, and I do TikToks, but they're not great. So just look for the good ones that I post on Instagram. Those are the ones to watch.
And do either of you have any viewing parties that you want to plug for next week?
Oh my god, next week actually we got Amara coming to Sturgeon Falls.
Ooh, exciting.
The viewing party at Twig's Coffee Roasters, 7 to 10 p.m.
I will be at the Clayton Pub House in, I think it's close to Langley. It's like between Langley and Surrey. I'm going to the suburbs. I'm bringing the drag to the burbs because.
Come on, Cloverdale! Woo!
Yes, Cloverdale, exactly. That's it.
The BC burbs, the like mountain towns, love drag. There's like they freaking love drag. Yeah, the best gigs I've done have been rural BC.
They're so excited, and we have the most fun. I go out to Langley at least once a month, and we have the best time at this brewery, and everybody's just so excited that they don't have to drive into downtown. Like it gives them life. They just sit there and they're just like, yes, drag. Where I live, I can take a cab home, and it doesn't cost me $100. You know, like they live for it. So I spent like the last year performing out there, so that's where I feel like my fan base is mostly. They just know me. We have so much fun together, so that's where I will be at the Clayton Pub, and we're there at 7 o'clock. And it's me and Scarlett Rose, and she is co-hosting with me, so that I have somebody to banter with, and she likes to throw shade, so it should be really entertaining. Yeah.
So if you live in either of those areas, make sure that you go check out Jenna Seppa as well as Justin Abit. Again, I have been Andrew Chiles, and this is Mira May. Thank you very much for watching Call Me After, the Call Me Mother review show. Goodbye.
Bye.